With an insatiable desire to constantly improve and impact the world around her, journalist Lara Logan has traveled across the globe to some of the world's most dangerous and interesting places.
Right now we are searching for the enemy drugs.
She's known for reporting from the front lines, where she has confronted the harsh realities of war.
Marines have returned fire with everything they've got. On our way back to the base, we started taking fire. One Marine was hit right in front of me. He's wounded in the leg.
Logan began her career at a young age when she was compelled to expose the atrocities of the apartheid regime. And it was through this work that she discovered her passion for seeking truth and justice.
I sensed injustice around me, and I was driven always to play some part in changing that. And so that was all, and to see it for myself, to understand it and see it for myself.
Throughout her career, she has interviewed great leaders and met a few interesting people along the way.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Dr. Barrett.
Welcome to the Nautilus.
How many shipwrecks do you think are down there?
Hundreds, if not thousands. Got it. It's an ancient shipwreck. I love it.
Were they like this before you started climbing?
I don't think they were quite this big before I started climbing. I honestly think my connective tissue and stuff has they've just all just gotten beefier, you know.
What I just saw in your eyes, what I'm looking like right now, there's magic in receiving your look in your eyes right now.
Her work takes her out of her comfort zone. While reporting a story about the war near the Afghanistan-Pakistan border in 2005, the military vehicle Logan was riding in hit a double-tank mine. The explosion seriously wounded 2 soldiers, but she escaped with only minor injuries. She would later meet up with the man who saved her life during this explosion. He was a Taliban commander.
Why do you think he agreed to sit and tell you those things that day?
He struck me as someone who, I wouldn't say they want to be understood. You want your side of history to be recorded, right? You want your role in that. And you don't want that history to be written purely by the other side. You want to have a hand in writing it yourself if it's your own history. It's always difficult when you talk to someone like that who's involved in killing Americans.
Her notable reporting plays an integral role at CBS News, and she brings to light true emotions in her interviews.
On the day of the September 11th attacks, Ali Soufan was thousands of miles away from Ground Zero. At this point, every fiber of your being is screaming, I've got to get back to New York.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I felt, what did we miss?
Is that why it's hard for you to go to Ground Zero?
I don't know.
In February 2011, the Egyptian dictatorship of Hosni Mubarak was falling.
I'm anxious to get to the square. I got to be there because this is a moment in history that you don't want to miss.
More than 100,000 people filled Cairo's Tahrir Square in wild celebration. Logan was among those in the crowd. She is an experienced war reporter, but Tahrir Square became her most hazardous assignment.
And I'm screaming, thinking, if I scream, if they know, they're going to stop. You know, someone's going to stop them, or they're going to stop themselves because this is wrong. And it was the opposite. Because the more I screamed, it turned them into a frenzy. There was no doubt in my mind that I was in the process of dying. I thought, not only am I going to die here, but it's going to be just a torturous death that's going to go on forever and ever and ever.
After a difficult recovery, she broke her silence about the incident to draw attention to the plight of women, particularly female journalists covering war zones, and to add her voice to those who confront violence.
I think there are a lot of women who experience these kind of things as journalists, and they don't want it to stop them from doing their job because they do it for the same reasons as me. They're committed to what they do. They're not adrenaline junkies. You know, they're not glory hounds. They do it because they believe in being journalists.
Less than a year after the attack, Lara was faced with another challenge, one she describes as the worst moment of her life, characterized by blind panic. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. Lara went public, disclosing her courageous battle to help others cope. Now in remission, Logan has continued to share her message of truth, courage, and integrity with compelling insight and refreshing honesty. For her strength and resolve and for sharing her story of hope, The Roswell Park Alliance Foundation honors Lara Logan with the Gilda Radner Courage Award.